In a remote village in the Scottish Highlands, a young woman named Clara steps off a bus. Thick fog envelops her as she walks down the deserted road. Behind her, the bus disappears into the mist. As she approaches the village, we hear, "They said the bell hadn't rung in 100 years until I came." People stare at her as she passes by. An old man whispers to himself, "She looks like her." Estines. Clara continues on, eventually arriving at her destination, the old rectory where she's staying. She knocks on the door and soon enough, an old, frail man opens it. He ushers her inside. We then see a montage of Clara interviewing the locals about the legend of the bell. They tell her that it rings when death is near. It rang before the 1924 Garobanisit. It rang before the plague. Later, she comes across the old bell tower, now sealed off with caution tape. "Why not remove the bell?" she asks. "Some things aren't meant to be silenced," replies the historian. "Only watched." Throughout the night, Clara hears creaking, footsteps, whispers, but she can't tell if they're coming from inside or outside her mind. Then, at 3 a.m., dong, the bell rings once. Startled, Clara rushes out. She finds the bell tower still sealed. Was it a dream? The next morning, one of the villagers is found dead of heart failure. Clara finds an old photo in the rectory attic. It's the missing girl from 1924, the one who vanished, and she looks exactly like Clara. She shows it to the local priest. Ego Espale, the girl claimed she could hear the dead. Then she disappeared. Could this be the same case? From that day on, Clara begins seeing flashes of the old village, people in old clothes running about, and she hears their whispers. She's returned. She dreams of the bell ringing endlessly. One entry in her journal reads, "This isn't a story. This is a calling." The villagers prepare for their annual bonfire, but a storm brews on the horizon. Ignoring the warnings, Clara sneaks out in the dark, determined to find the source of the bell's haunting toll. She arrives at the bell tower, its darkness seeming to consume her. Thunder booms in the distance. Wind whips around her as she reaches out to touch the sealed door. Suddenly, it swings open, as if beckoning her inside. Lightning illuminates the old, weathered stairs, leading up into the darkness. Taking a deep breath, she begins her ascent. As she climbs, shadows swirl and dance behind her, taking on sinister shapes in the flickering darkness. Voice, ring it, complete what began. She reaches the top. Out of breath, the bell sits before her, seemingly untouched for a century. Its surface is cold to the touch, yet it hums with a strange energy. As Clara reaches out to touch it again, she sees a flash of movement in the corner of her eye. Startled, she turns, but there's nothing there. Yet the bell moves on its own, swinging slowly from side to side. Her eyes widen in surprise and fear. Before she can react, she feels a jolt, a searing pain in her chest. Her vision blurs. She collapses, falling to her knees beside the ancient bell. As the bell tolls one last time, the screen cuts to black.